Hey guys, welcome back to today's channel and thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk a bit about friendship, and I really just have one question for you, and that is, when do you know when to let a friendship go and when to nurture one? How do you make that distinction? When do you know how you've outgrown friends? When do you know that you're ready to add more friends to your life, especially if you're a busy creator, an entrepreneur, or somebody who's trying to go through a period of self-growth or a lot of self-exploration? Guilty. So how do we know to do that? Well, to talk about that a little more, Michael and I joined our good friend, Dr. Grace Chang, on a beautiful hike, and we're going to take the conversation out to the road, out to this gorgeous hike, and explore what friendship means to us, why we foster friendships, how we keep them alive. Grace has an awesome suggestion for how to let people know that you still appreciate them and want to keep them in your life, and how to ensure that you actually see them in a physical space more often than not, because that, for me, that's really hard to do. So let's go ahead and jump on the road and go from there. All right, here we go. The drive to Rattlesnake Ledge takes us east of Seattle and past Issaquah. On a Monday afternoon, it's conveniently free of traffic, and on a sunny day, it's both peaceful and beautiful. We're passengers in Grace's car, a treat that I don't often get to experience, as I'm usually the one driving. The miles are filled with conversation about friendship, personal growth, and what it means to enter our 30s as freshly minted entrepreneurs. After about an hour, we make it to the gravel parking lot and spill out of the car. I take a moment to introduce Grace and lament my choice of hiking clothes. We made it to the rattlesnake ledge trail, and it is still very crowded even though it's a Monday. And yeah, look at all these cars. What's up with that? And yeah, we are here with our friend Grace. Grace, would you call yourself formidable?
Oh, I think I am.
The formidable Grace is also a wonderful doctor in the U Village. And yeah, we are going to hike up. I don't feel terribly prepared because I don't have any shorts, so I'm just wearing jeans. Everyone else is in nice hiking gear, but that's okay, as long as the jeans don't rip halfway up. It's the trick. So we've never hiked this trail before, and we are going to go up for the view, and hopefully it's a little less crowded than it is on Saturdays. But it's still pretty crowded, so we'll see what it's like. Should be a lot of fun. The Rattlesnake Ledge Trail is a 4-mile round trip with an elevation gain of 1,160 feet. Why it's named after a snake that's not native to Western Washington, I don't know. The base of the trail starts at the eponymously named lake, a small body of water that's popular for summer swimming, picnicking, and kayaking. Sounds of laughter and people having fun reverberate through the trees as we crunch along the gravel path towards the first slope. It's here that I take a moment to ask Grace about her thoughts on friendship and what makes a good friend to begin with. Grace, can I ask you a question?
Oh, yes.
On record.
Okay.
How did we become friends?
How did we become friends? Well, you were looking for a model, and I was very scared, but I loved the mission that you had, and so I hit you up, and we had a photo session, and it was great.
I recall it being great too.
Yes.
And then I also wonder, I'm kind of thinking a lot about friendship for this video, and I'll go into more detail on that when we're off the trail and not soaking in sweat, because we probably will be by the time we're at the top. But how do you define a good friend? So what's a good friend to you?
A good friend is just someone that you meet on a journey, and you're kind of on the same path in some way, and your heart and soul seem to match up, and you make each other happy, and you just want each other to be happy as well.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I like that. And last question. Do you find having your practice and working as a professional and being a doctor and spending so much time at work and then kind of just living your life, and then James' business as well, do you ever find it's difficult to maintain relationships, or do any fall by the side, or what's your strategy or key for keeping friendships healthy and alive when everyone's so busy?
I think it's just also letting people know that you're thinking about them, and that even if you can't see them, that they still matter to you. And a little text message, or even just an emoji or a sticker or a like on Instagram, all of those still all of it still really matters. So and it really comes down to just your investment of time. You know, if you feel like they mean something to you, then it's worth making the time for.
That makes a lot of sense.
Just like us.
Yes, exactly. I'm going to switch arms and switch sides. I have one more question. This arm got tired. And then last question, I think what really helps, I struggle with maintaining friendships a lot. And I know it's because I let myself get really busy. And I always think, oh, I'll text message later next hour, or I'll text message tomorrow. And then I forget and I put it off and I put it off. I really like when we're finding dates to hang out or do hikes or dinners, that we instantly bring out the calendar and actually set something in stone. When did you start doing that practice?
Well, I think that comes with the professional side too. As a doctor, I think if you're saying, I'm going to do this, you kind of need to make sure it gets done, right?
Yes.
So I think it's also just making sure that you're taking the steps to ensure that what you're saying to people will actually happen.
That makes sense. Yeah. I think that's awesome.
And then doing it right in front, I think just getting it done with, so that you don't even have to worry about it next time. It's already set in the schedule.
Right. I like that a lot. And then it's nice having something out in advance to look forward to as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. I think those are all of my questions for for now. I know Grace wasn't really expecting to be interviewed today, but yeah, so let's enjoy the hike and see if we survive it to the top.
Yes.
All right. Bye. We stopped to apply a healthy dose of bug spray before officially trekking into the woods. Grace's words made a lot of sense, and it seemed to me like she had a 3-step formula for keeping friendships alive in a busy world. Step 1. Identify your values and look for people on a similar journey as your own. Step 2. Let the people in your life know that they still matter through the occasional text message, comment, and like on Instagram, or through thoughtful notes and voicemails. Step 3. Be intentional about hanging out by opening your calendars and making a point of choosing a date together right then and there, even if it's further down the road than you'd like. After a good hour, we reached the summit drenched in sweat and ready to have a seat. I wasn't prepared for how striking and surreal the views would be, and felt lost in the sheer beauty of the world stretched out below us. Grace had brought fresh cherries and strawberries from the farmer's market, a perfect treat for a warm day, and then it hit me. Friendships are like hiking trails. I excused myself from the group and unpacked my thoughts. Much like this hike up to the top of Rattlesnake Ledge here, this amazing view behind us, as you can see out there. Maintaining friendships takes a little work. You have to put in the time and the effort. Sometimes it feels like a big hike up to a top of a ledge, but like this hike and like this ledge, the views and the results of the friendship make a pretty big difference. And at the end, once you're there, you realize how completely worthwhile it is. But like other hikes and other views, you just don't get around to them. They might sound great. You might have it on your bucket list of things to do, but it just never ends up being an opportunity or a good connection. So there are some friendships like that too. In reality, hiking is a pretty good metaphor for friendship and the things that come from it. So when you put in the time and the energy, and when you invest in it, when you recognize the challenges, how exhausting it can be, how rewarding it can be, the end results are usually quite spectacular and usually absolutely worth the effort. But there are only so many days in the week and so many hours in the day and so many opportunities to go on hikes. So you pick and choose which ones are the most fulfilling for you, which ones will make the biggest impact in your life and help expand your view, challenge you, reward you, be there for you, and when they're accessible. So just like friendships, there are only so many days in the week, so many hours in the day, so many people that you can be in touch with regularly and maintain those friendships. You choose which ones challenge you, which ones require more energy to input, which ones are rewarding at the end, which ones force you to be a better person, and which ones just leave you feeling disappointed or bland. So it's about making discernible decisions, being cognizant of what your criteria is for a good friendship and sticking to that, and being comfortable letting other friendships go. I think that's a pretty big point to keep in mind as well. Just like why did we choose this hike today over Mount Si or Mount Tenerife or Twin Falls or something like that. We made a conscious choice and we were rewarded with this view, but we also lost the opportunity to see the others. There's only so much you can do. But yeah, I think it's pretty amazing to be able to have the chance to hike like this, to have the chance to find and cultivate meaningful relationships, and to expect great things from them, just like we expect great views from this. And then on the flip side, of course, sometimes you expect a relationship or a friendship to be amazing, to have great results, and you get there and it's completely lackluster, as if this hike was on a cloudy day. It wouldn't be worth it just to climb to nothing. So just requires being aware, taking chances, taking risks, and being comfortable saying no and letting people or opportunities pass you by in favor for better or different, or things that are just more suitable and tailored to you. Well, yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that here. We're gonna hike back down soon because we're starving. It's dinner time. By the time we get down there, traffic will be better. So that view though, look at that, just crazy. Just amazing. Okay, so let's go back there. After a challenging and fun day of hiking, we decided it was time to call it a day and make our way back down the trail. Spending the afternoon with a good friend while talking about meaningful connections helped me appreciate the relationships in my life while recalling those that inevitably slipped away. The roads were clear and free of traffic while the conversation in the car was muted, a sign of a good, tiring hike. By the time we made it back to Bellevue, the sun was getting low, and we said our sad goodbyes to Grace and thanked her for making the hike with us. By reflecting on hiking as a metaphor for friendship, we were able to touch upon concepts of intentional action, mindful selection, and limited opportunity. I'm grateful for the friends I have in my life and don't regret those I've outgrown, as I think that's a natural part of development. After all, the best we can do is be mindful of ourselves while holding our relationships to standards that we deserve. Life's too short to spend with people who don't bring us joy while challenging us to be our best. Please like this video if you agree and subscribe to this channel for bi-weekly posts that navigate the challenges of defining your own path from the perspective of a millennial entrepreneur. Have a wonderful day and share it with those who make a difference in your life.